I just realized actually I need to set up chat on my main screen. Wow. Wowie. Okay. Hopefully H. Okay, there's a little bit of delay. That's interesting. Curious. I'll have to just keep an eye on the actual chat here. That's fine. At least it'll show up. We'll see if I have to tinker with it at all. What do I want to play today? Let me turn down the music a small bit. There we go. Okay. No. Let's try this. Something that isn't Halberd to start off anyway. We'll probably end up going back to Halberd eventually. Yeah, welcome in everyone. I'm just trying it out. We'll see how it goes. Because hopefully it should be of a much higher quality as a general rule. Your YouTube before is very happy? Yeah, well Twitch is such a garbage fucking platform. Oceanic. That. Oh, I should probably not be reading chat while doing that. Jesus. Okay, 1,000 damage off of that exchange is pretty okay. Dueling shield? To finish me off? That's curious. Well, I do have an ace in the hole here. Whew. Jesus. I don't even use Twitch. The biggest problem I have with Twitch is that the VODs are now gone and the quality of the stream is absolute dog shit. I have to actually, because of the streaming limit, which I don't think exists on YouTube. So you're going 1080p, but it's not really 1080p. And a bunch of other stuff. Like YouTube is just infinitely better. I think the chat experience is worse. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really stream Elden Ring all that much anymore anyway, so it kind of evens itself out. Much worse, except for PFPs. Yeah, I just don't. Ugh. My mans. Also, how are you, Shu? Like, most of the streams that I watch, if I'm being honest, are all Total War stuff, and that's... I'm good stuff. Hand to hand are kind of neat. There we go. All right. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, the more distance I can put between myself and Twitch, the better. Twitch is just kind of ass. It doesn't really get you much either, which is another problem. Mute? I did in fact mute. Okay, I'm back. I should be back anyway. Never mind, I got Q-Pixel Girled. Unfortunate. How to play with the setup optimally? That's a very good question. I'm not really sure. There's an awful lot of block cancels and stuff like that you can do. But I'm not really... Let's collab on YouTube, bro. Sure thing, so. What you want to collab on, brother? Send me a DM. We can figure out something. You armed with the Astolfo thumbnails. Me with my ability to say the words good. Let's make a Morningstar guide. Evidently, I'm the one who's going to need it the most. Dark soap. Is that the femboy guy? Awesome sauce. Sure, hit me up with the script. That is so funny. That is genuinely hilarious. Well, it's the one who really loves Astolfo PFPs. That's Dark Soap. Also, one of the early Elden Ring favorite players of mine. I was very fond of Soap's back to basics performances. To be just a little bit more careful here. Yeah, you go... Also, the crouch attack on these are pretty damn bad. Look at that recovery, though. Block cancel. GG's. Has some very interesting... What's up, Anya? But brain rot inducing for me too, lol. I think that's the general vibe Soap is going for. Although I don't want to... I'm not sure how much I believe the artist being dead or not, you know. We better let him speak for himself. Jim. We're not going to go full Soap glaze today, folks. Can I see your start spreading? Minrex. Hang on a second. Uh-oh. But I do have an anti-hyper armor button. I showed you my stats spread. Please respond. Look at that recovery! Nice. This Ash of War has hyper armor? No, but it beats their hyper armor, which is quite nice. I quite like it a lot. What am I on? 64 decks. 64 decks, rest. Thanks, Jaeger. Also, this is probably one of my favorite... Easy on the wiggles, bro. It kills the vibe. That's really good. I like that a lot. I love PlayStation, man. No, 64 actually. 60... actually. 64, 60 dex, 63. Vig. 60 Vig. Bear. Bare minimum end. There we go, cool. You guys, this guy should fight me. Blue smiling face. I missed Bonefist who could do again, but ERA has too much ranged. Kind of hard to tell. The range stuff is pretty obnoxious. Like, I get that they're trying to force people to engage, but some of it has such low recovery you can't really punish it. But then again, I'm not even sure the fucking developers recognize what the fucking gameplay loop is supposed to be. Oh, a shield. Excellent. I was hoping he'd go for the block. GG's. Also, this thing is kind of mad annoying to fucking fight. They're just balancing by vibes. Well, they've asked the community to more or less balance their game for them, and that never works out. Mostly because, especially for ER, given how much weirdness there is with it and how many different places it's... Keen with Grease is better on 65 decks. You can't grease the Danes. Medi. So why would you bother going for Keen? You're going for maximum damage there. Surely. I've heard people say cold into magic is much better on these things. The aforementioned vibes. Yeah. No one can agree on what the game should be, even in the competitive scene. It's really funny. It's probably the strangest thing to me ever. Because, like, if you look at PC alone, there's like 3 different rule sets on rotation at the moment. There's YY's, there's my own, and then there's... Oh, I could just trade into this. What am I doing? That is incredible net. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Look, obviously I can't do it now, but you can't grease them. It's just pretty funny. Yeah, I have very little interest in looking at that. I already have a FromSoft box, to be honest with you. It's called my PlayStation 5. I'm not particularly keen on getting another one. Besides, if I had to choose between getting a new laptop or getting like new parts for my PC over a Switch, I'd pick that in a heartbeat. Exclusive games make no difference, and I have very little interest in playing Mario or Zelda, so... Also, I find it really funny, a bunch of people rocking around with the perfumes. Because I remember they were used in a tourney once, and everyone was struggling against it, but the longer I watched, the more I realized that people just didn't realize you could just fucking trade into it. Ooh, I've taken a lot of damage here. Double status. Bit of a laggard. Nope. Perfume off-axe will be the meta, which you wait. I mean, that's the off-axe doing so much fucking heavy lifting at that point. It might as well not be. Would you buy a Switch if Dustbolt is actually a good PvP game? No. Or I find it incredibly unlikely. I'm not spending 400 euros. Or 500, what is it? 500 euros for the console? 80 quid for the game? Yeah, not a fucking notion. That's way too much. Look at that range, though. Yeah, that trades on this lot. That's pretty unfortunate. No, I have very little intention of picking up a new console for a FromSoft game. I think exclusives are dumb. And it's kind of a little bit silly that, I hope the exclusivity is just for 1 year. We will see. But yeah, I have very little intention of going anywhere near it. Also, Nintendo is notorious for having absolute garbage networking on their platforms, so I find it really funny that they have decided to make a PvP game on something that's... I've recommended it since Nintendo exclusives tend to actually be good, but the prices aren't justifiable this time around. I don't even think it's the pricing per se. Like, that's kind of inevitable given everything that's happening here. Nope. I have to actually be very careful here because she's going to try and set up for the R2 mash. That is such low recovery. Nope. Nope. Yep, the better fist weapon wins. GG's. And emulation exists as well. Well, I'm shocked Nintendo hasn't been doing their damnedest to prevent that from happening. I can very well imagine Nintendo becoming very, very careful about their new stuff. I mean, how long has it taken everyone to crack Bloodborne right now? Kick fists are an abomination. Well, I don't really have guaranteed poise break into an awful lot of this shoe, so it's going to be pretty tough. You're kind of shutting me down pretty hard there. I'd be curious as to how it does against TS. Not that I'd ever want to pressure into fists anyway. In general, since... Nope, I just flat out missed a roll. GG's. So the emulation probably won't be so difficult. Is that all it is? That's really fucking funny. Were Nintendo ever the cutting edge of, like, consoles? Hello, sir. What's up, Chalice the Rapper? Chance the Rapper's Burner. Stream's going good, sir. We just chillin'. We bing chilling. Just messing around with some Danes before I go back to Holstock forever. Trapped in an eternity of Holstock. N64 was powerful at the time, Lamau. Because I had the Wii, which was, like, cute. That wasn't really aimed towards, like... pretty much anyone, was it? I don't even know. I feel like the Wii was so weird because it was like a party thing that everyone wanted. I don't know, we got one. We have like 3 games for it and we never did anything else. I stayed playing the PlayStation 2 for like a decade. Because the PlayStation 2 was big. Hello. Interesting. That is not what I wanted to... Oh, never mind. I think we have poise chip on them. Yeah, we did, but it's too slow. Jesus. Good old latency. The Wii had Sonic and the Black Knight. Chewed your mouth? No, I refuse. What else was there? There was the GameCube, which wasn't particularly big over here. Everyone had a PlayStation, and a handful of people had an Xbox. Like a PlayStation 2 and the Xbox were probably the 2 most common of that kind of generation. I think I know one person who had a GameCube, and I only found out about it years later. It's just pretty rare over here. But yeah, and then you had the Wii U, which confused me. And then what else was there? Then there was the Switch, and now there's the Switch too. Again, I have very little interest in console gaming anymore. Once I got my PC, it was like, that's it, I'm sold. The only particular reason I stream Elden Ring on PSN is because I can actually fucking use... I can actually just play the game. I don't have to like bounce between like 3 different mods. There we go. FPS. Jeez. I fell off console when they turned Zelda into a Garry's Mod like. That's not a combination of words I ever thought I'd read, but I appreciate that. That goes hard is what that does. Also, how's the quality of the stream? Is it dipping or anything like that? Is it 1080p 60? Or have I done goofed? And it's... I'll have to readjust all of my settings at some point. No. What is it right now, Shu? pretty consistent. Because I have the bandwidth for it, but it's delayed more than Twitch. Yeah, that's normal. GG's. I see messages in chat where I'm seeing the same, and I don't know why that is. I'll have to have a figure out of what's going on there. Yeah, it's weird. I can't make head nor tail of it. Dear Lord. I don't break it. Is all footwork real if it doesn't break poise, right? It's semi-real. It dies to hard meta pretty badly. No, I meant to go for the running there. The only thing it really has going for it is its incredibly low recovery. Like, ridiculously low recovery. Jeez. If you miss the recovery, then it's kind of GG. GGWP. But you have to do an awful lot of funny block cancels and stuff like that, which can lead to input drops. But it's fine. I think of the DLC stuff, it's the most fun for me personally. Like, will anyone win a tourney on it? Like, look at that! Stuff like that is why this thing is cool. But it's an already... Darcy plays it? Yeah, but Darcy uses it in conjunction with, like, Gugs and stuff. I mistimed that. Fuck. But yeah, you have super low recovery. I've enjoyed my lady the most. I don't understand why it's... Or one is 19 frames, why... is 16 though. I mean, it's obnoxious enough. I'm a certified LGS hater. I think that shit is mad annoying to fight. It's kind of predictable, so you kind of know what you're getting. But when someone goes for a whiff and then mashes at you, is incredibly frustrating, to say the very least. GG's. Which I think is kind of a problem. I also don't know how this thing does against like roll-ins and stuff. Maybe we'll try it on ladder later and see what happens. more annoying in that regard. I think GCAD, the problem with GCAD is it's on latency. It's it has insane phantom. And it's quite difficult to go for backstabs when it should be a pretty backstabbable setup on paper. It's just the hitbox is kind of funky. But it's fine. I don't mind it all that much. GG's. Like, any of the DLC stuff is just, like, very weirdly designed. It doesn't quite make sense to me. It feels like they're trying to kill neutral, like, repeatedly, over and over again. Skips neutral, jumps at you, presses random buttons, claims they got a god tier read, and then walks away. But that's just me, personally. I don't think it's, like, overpowered or anything. I think I have to rejig my tier lists at some point or another, because, like, I've completely disregarded Sword Lance. Oh, the masher. There we go, we fixed it. Nope. GCAD is also very fishable, which is also very funny to me. Like, insanely fishable. I don't think there's a move that does on any latency that isn't roll BSable. The biggest problem is offhand rack Sasha. That shit's mad annoying. Just enables an awful lot of shenanigans. But you can counterpick the ever-loving bejesus out of it. Dr. Death Defying, hello. What am I done? Rickshaws isn't bad if you counterpick anything fast. Well, usually it's used in conjunction with a fast weapon. It's just off rack. That's main hand. It's not much of an issue at all. I think it was Luber a long time ago who said to me that he reckoned that GCAT is pretty damn good if you allow Flaming Strike. I don't remember where he put it on, like, a tier list or whatever. Yeah, BHB is pretty annoying. I think in the hands, it's either very annoying in the hands of someone who... GG's. GG's. Dueling Shield is a very particular form of funny, I think, personally. Hello? Wait, can I tank a BHB? Nope. Rip up. Adorable. It's just that it gets free trades unless you get buffable counter damage and good frames. And also gets buffable counter damage. The fact it's buffable as well is pretty hysterical. Nope. GG's. It sounds like Dueling Shield was created specifically to kill it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't quite know what they were thinking. In fact, I'm actually fairly certain they weren't. But it's whatever. It's just anything that has like a completely schizo matchup matrix is just like it kills. Where you can go for like a 60-40 all the way down to like all the way to like a 50-50 is pretty fucking ridiculous to me. Oh, I'm getting schmixed. Oh, I'm apparently not him. GG's, friend. That was a good schmix. We got schmixed. In the year of our Lord, 2020 whatever the fuck. GG? Oh, that was you, Mitty. GG's, friendo. The R2 cancels... It's pretty ridiculous. If you look at the frame data app, which there's a link to on my Discord... Over to BHS Playground. GG's. You can see all the different cancel windows and stuff like that. It's really fucking good. Again, it's piss poor damage, unfortunately, which makes some pretty bad issues. But it's pretty neat. The BHS clean rod is hilarious. That's the arena. There are no rules. Welcome to the Wild West. Just because I insist on playing on a rule set doesn't mean other people have to. That is the game. For better or worse. Hello. Can we get the BS against this? No. No. I thought I'd spaced it. No, that wasn't a BS? Unfork. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, the recovery is deeply overtuned in a bunch of stuff in the DLC though. I don't really bother, I just pull out my own and click blind spot. You can do some cool stuff into people using BHB, but it's very, very difficult. If they vaguely know what they're doing, you're kind of in trouble. Or if they have no clue. And they just mash the button, it can be very hard to get in on them. But yeah, the ashes on it are absolutely appalling. I still don't understand why they've why Blind Spot has the tracking that it does. It's just like, at least again on Corvian, there was a little bit of counterplay going on. No? No. Are we... How latent are we right now? Like, look at that. That wasn't even block cancelling. Blind Spot is fine, what do you mean? In Dark Souls 3 Hellish it was pretty good, but in this game it's a little bit goofy silly. Just a little bit goofy silly. I miss Murkies. No Murkies for you, sir. You think they will patch some of these OP DLC weapons? Just to be clear, I don't think these things are OP. I think they're just like on the bottom end of like, they're either on the bottom end of A tier or the top end of B tier, pretty much. They're somewhere in that. I don't think they're particularly amazing. They're cute though. Oh, the patas are out. Why did I try to fish that? That would have been fucking hilarious had it worked. Boom! Got him. What's up, Orang? GG's, friend. Welcome in, welcome in. I'll try and have a look and see what I can do with like emotes and stuff at some point. On Twitch or whatever. I don't... Not Twitch, sorry, on YouTube or whatever. Transfer some of them over. Worthy of low AA, bad matchup into hybrid, but JR1 is pretty good for spacing. I don't know. I have to re-look at a bunch of those things at some point. New weapons they add are somewhat unique. Not looking like it, to be honest with you, Great Cat. Right, let me skedaddle a little bit closer here. What are we swapping to, sir? Alright, we got the shield going. Shunt. Oh, sword lance. GG's. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. I'm kind of in the same opinion. I put it before. If I remember right, I put it before. What is useful for? Poise chip? Poise chip and it's unreactable. So you get a little bit of unreactable damage in there, but they can just mash into it if they read right. But you're using it as a mix between that and a run R2. Yeah, you can poise chip someone so that they stagger on the R2. And if you on the tap R2, I mean, it's pretty funny. Oops. Anti-Inda technology taken out. Could have gone for... Just balls to the wall aggression here is probably what he's going to go for. We mash. GG's. Oh! Did he just DC? No shot. No shot. Might be. Why YouTube? Because the quality is better for streaming. Theoretically, I can get to a much higher resolution and stuff like that. That's kind of what I'm aiming for, especially for the tourneys. Twitch is very much secondary. That's pretty fucking funny. But yeah, that's why. Quality is worse on my side? Huh, let me see. Quality 1080 at 60. Oh, yeah, that's actually doing it properly. No! Oh, shut the fuck up, me. That guy's cringe. Unless I have to change some other bits and pieces. Which is possible. Hitbox. OP filthy tryhard. True. Oh! My swaps are pretty bad. I might end stream and twiddle with some of the settings and see if I can get stuff to be a little bit better. Can I not lose to S&B, please? Nope, I lost S&B. It's over. They made the shadow patch was too strong. Alright. Let me see if I can have a look just to see what's going on. Copy link. If the quality is worse, then there's something I'm doing something wrong then. I'll have to look up my settings again. Yeah, so I'm at 1080-60. Worse than there's something. No, it should be. It's looking good on my VOD, I think. Yeah, it looks pretty much fine. Just the usual. Oh my god, my game is very, very bright. Hang on a second, let me adjust that slightly. Where is it? Now it looks a little bit more moody. There we go. What's the logic between that being 17s makes me lose it? There is no sense in it. Keep in mind that, again, you said, I think it was you who said it earlier on, that they're balancing off of vibes, pretty much. There's neither rhyme nor reason to it. It looks a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, it should be okay. I'm curious why it wouldn't be. Unless I have to turn off HDR on my side. But yeah, there is absolutely no rhyme nor reason to 90% of the balancing decisions that they make, unfortunately. And we just have to accept as a community that that's just how it be. Hall Run R1 not good anyway. Well, it's part of the mix, right? You're just trying to mix people up. Please go in. You are quite latent, I think. Yeah, we have pretty bad luck. Oh, I forgot that that had a hitbox. Nice. Hippity hoppity. GG's. I'll be messing with the settings over the next couple of days anyway to try and get this right. Run R1 is fine on Hallberg for what it is. Life always finds a way or something along those lines. Oh, I'm gyrating. That's not good. PVY. Well, you see, funny enough, for PvE, I don't think they're trying to encourage people to go for the light attacks, because the light attacks are actually pretty doo-doo garbage outside of, like, killing mobs. You're mostly trying to go for your heavy poise-breaking attacks. Is I'm bored stick? I mean, you're not wrong entirely. I love Claws of Night, they're very funny. Well, it's just, again, it's part of that. You have the standing R1, you have the run R1, you have your L1, whatever that may be it Allfax or whatever, on BanCon, working on it. We'll have it next week, trust, for the money tourneys. Actually, I need to actually get those challenges set up later. Making R2 as fast as R1 so I wish they could make secondary attacks rather than heavy. Fast, short pommel bash for GS and Uggs. Yeah, maybe. There's probably they have conceptually decided some things, and a huge part of that is that they're limited by the fact that they're just using their fucking insanely large. That is fucking hilarious. Holy shit. Why did I mash there? I'm fucking stupid! GG's. They're just using their old animation library and throwing it on random weapons and calling it a day. That's more or less how they choose animations and stuff. Very little things have actually changed. Durong. Dang, hello. What's up, duder? Yeah, I don't know what this thing does into hyper armor, to be honest with you. Are you calling FromSoft lazy? You bet your ass I am. Or cutting costs. Most likely, rather than lazy. I don't know how big their development team is. And when you see it on YouTube, yeah, that is a problem, and I think that's I think that's what I'm using. That's a mistake on my part, I think. Because I'm looking at I'm just looking at the stream. Ow, 1 second. Jeez. Oh, stream settings. I have low latency set up. I could go lowest Kung Fu Battle. I'm just trying it. I'm doing a bit of the martial arts today. I feel like it a little bit. That's a visual thing because I'm seeing the comments come up pretty much as soon as they come up. Or it could be restream. I might start again. It's kind of funny they outed Night Rain as shovelware by releasing Dustblood so soon. It's just part of their yearly release thing that they're doing. They've probably, I have no idea how long they've been developing either titles, but it looks like they've had very small teams. Again, I have no special insight into what FromSoft is doing, so I don't really have all that much really to say. The internal structures of FromSoft are about as alien to me as they are to you. Got that little bit of posture. GG's. They have had a couple of years off, and I doubt the DLC was all hands on deck, considering, again, there's so many reused assets, there's so much X, Y, and Z. I would be pretty shocked if it was an all hands on decks kind of thing. I also don't know how long it took them to get the exclusivity deal off of Nintendo, so... I heard Dustbloods has been in development since 2019. Yeah, but what does in development mean? Does that mean that they have coder monkeys typing on keyboards? PvP. What's up, cheese? Like the idea of preset characters that they're doing? I mean, they kind of should be doing that already. The build variety in Souls games is always pretty funny to me. There's very little, really. Most of the... You're not going to be optimal, but most of the things that you can use means they wrote the title down and started using it yesterday. That, you see, that would be based. Because they have an army of sycophants who are willing to pretty much buy whatever game they put out. Nope. Why did I panic roll that? That's pretty funny. How's Armina? It's chill. We're chilling today, cheese. Having a grand old chat about stuff and things. I would prefer MIDI that they stuck with that rather than what they currently have now, which is a very bare bones RPG. To kind of touch it a little bit better. They're probably just like firing out concepts and ideas to see whether or not they're able to make. But they're not making PvE so that can respond to 90%. I mean, the PvE barely responds to what you can do already. Like when you can just, against the base game stuff, when you can literally just go for the running attack. Yes, please mash. No, that works too. The PvE already struggles with like multiplayer. Nice. GG's. I'll have to figure out what I want to do there. How to copy YouTube chat into OBS. I'll get that later, because I'm probably using a bad version of it. I can build variety once... Build variety exists, and even then, they're not making PvE that can respond. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Or tree sentinel. I hope this game delivers. We'll see what happens, I guess. But the game really... But they really need is an engine change. The engine that they're having is basically... I wouldn't be too hopeful. I'll put it that way. They're just throwing ideas at a wall to make their current formula a bit more interesting, I think. That is fucking hilarious. Check delay. Dear God. Yeah, I don't see how I don't trade into that. "16 seconds between post and appearance on stream." No, that's, again... Hang on a second, because I have about 15 million tabs on right now. Discussion to see about from Gmail, but I get more... The more discussion I see about From's new projects, the more I get pushed into Dodd's corner about Souls-like doomerism. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Alright, well the chat box is fucked. Goodbye, chat box. Let me turn off the thing. Where is it even? Where have I hidden it? Overlay, next up, there we go. Okay. Which is more than fair, cheese. Again, Dodd's complaints don't come from nowhere, right? The absolute fucking frustration that is trying to follow a From Software game. Can I get a pop-out chat here? I can. Yes, thank you. There we go. That's a little bit better. Like, I have very little faith in FromSoft, to the point that it's more so everyone's having the same old discussion about the games that it's always had. Yup! That's also a thing. That is very much also a thing. Jeez. I'm more tired of that, really, but that's like just me complaining. If you're here for a while, keep in mind the exact same discussion about glitches has been had since I came into the community. The exact same fucking conversation on loop forever. It's hysterical. It's really fucking funny. Very, very funny. And from what I've heard, that conversation was going on years in advance of me ever getting onto the scene. So, and the same old discussions, because everyone knows what we're all having pretty much the exact same conversation. Like, the funny part is like Chainsaw filled. People were saying Chainsaw isn't cheating, but the joke that I always have, for example, is that like it fills the exact same use case. Or stuff like that. There's like no novel way to talk about it though. That would have been really funny had it worked. Or like some clueless PvEer stumbling into like a tryhard stream and getting very upset that people are like sweating out of their minds. 90% of the time I'm fairly sure it's bait. GG's. Or like the same 5 or 6 different lines in hate mail regurgitated in the exact same ways. I don't know. The only thing that's new, really, per se, with Elden Ring is that the tournament scene was kind of flourishing. Or at least that there was a massive push towards making it a little bit better, which I think was a push in the right direction. Because I don't think Den would have worked, or anything like Den had ever really popped up before, which I think is kind of neat. But then again, the Souls community is filled with people with like fucking crabs in a barrel, so stuff and just move on to different things until we get a new slot from FromSoft. Go for the jumping attack, friendo. Oh, that works too, but end of the panic roller. Nice, we get that break. Nope. And the late press, GG's. Like maybe Reddit, Discord are more understanding from the high influx of people. Well, that's also the thing as well. There are new people coming in, but like I honestly think you could make like a soundboard of everyone's take and just play it whenever if anyone asks about it. It's really funny. And the same conversations exist the exact same exist in all of the games as well. Which is also kind of funny, I think. I do find it funny though. As someone who's not the fondest of VR, but I've outlasted an awful lot of the people who did nothing but complain about the things we'd done early on to try and make any of it work. Very funny. Or the spaces that pretty much did nothing but complain about the game constantly. That's very funny. But I like the community. I like the social aspect of Souls an awful lot. I think it's kind of neat. Which exists, which is completely extrinsic to the game, to be fair. But there's some good people who come along. The absolute creatures that I've bumped into over the years. For better and worse. That traded, that's pretty funny. Nope, never mind. I thought I'd be able to get that interrupt out first. I think if they go for a rolling hyper armor, it might be a little bit better. They just walk up to me. I'll have to see. I just don't engage with a lot of discussion about it because just seeing the whole road clip that they put with ER from launch to today. It's just dumb. It's really dumb. Again, the discourse is pretty bad. What's up, McCarley? Welcome in, duder. Again, cheese. How's the quality of the stream for you? Full of very unique people, yeah, and like I said, for better and worse. But like the tournament scene has introduced me to some really cool people. And to say that this is the jankest rule set I've ever seen is utterly unhinged. Hi, Amelia. Amelia, what's the quality of the stream like? Honestly, it feels like way better in Twitch, Lamau. That's what I was thinking. The other guy is coping then, fair enough. Now, someone was saying that there was issues, but... very bad, looks like Elden Ring. And that's someone who should probably stop playing the video game. Whoops. And funny enough, she did. I'm proud of you, Emmy. Whoops. When the armor is hyper. Wait, please go for it. No! That was a strafe and you know it, game. That was a strafe and you know it, game. Okay, whatever. Jeez. What are you yapping about? Just yapping. Joining the Honorary Soulsborne Retiree Collective. I did that 2 years ago. Better for it. But your software and stuff like that is V-epic. That was the most heinous, greasy double roll. You should apologize for that, SMH. No, I refuse, cheese. There will be no apologizing for me. For I have naught to be sorry about, friend. This FromSoft doesn't fix them. That is a huge issue. But there's also, like, it's a FromSoft game. You should kind of fucking expect there to be unfathomable amounts of jank. Nope. I can't really trade into it. Especially if it's one that's difficult for any of us to do anything about. Complaining is part of the experience. True! Thanks, Amelia. Do you think it could be better, though? I mean, there's a fair amount to discuss. With the ER, there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Like, you have varying different matchups. It's hard to say. I'm always hesitant about saying. I would, like, if I made a complaint about something, or put in a ticket, I would never in a million years claim credit for it. I think that's deeply presumptuous. Deeply, deeply presumptuous. Because the problems are pretty obvious. There's some numbers and stuff like that that can be kind of like, if you go by exact numbers, then you can kind of assume. He could go for an unsheath into my running R1. GG's. Yeah, thanks to Amelia's work. It's the apps and all of that stuff and the tourney overlays are absolutely incredible. The community is forever in her debt. Very much so. Requiring the meal. Man, these emotes are fucking garbage. I'll have to see if there's a way that I can introduce the emotes I have. Not that they're much fucking better. Hello. One of the finest pieces of corporate art. True. Now that's a good emote. I have been pinged. Why have I been pinged? Oh, Middle East tourney. Very on brand. Also, the fucking off-rack thread. Alright. They're still talking about banning off-rack. That's fucking hysterical. Nope. Oh my god, that latency. I might do it now in a minute, actually. Okay, I'm also a laggard, so it kind of evens out. GG's, friend. Yo, Charles. Is that the Chartles? That's crazy. Holy shit. The Jägermeister Enjoyer? I'll have to head back up to the city again soon. That was fun. Here, let's queue up a ladder. Jaeger Bros! Alright, Skippy. Right, can I get them interrupt? That's interesting. A few drinks again would be nice. Alright, the R2 is now, I think, having cryo. So it does. Interesting. Could have gone for the Sword of Light buff. No, fork. But I'm not playing this optimized. Let's go light. Woo! Jesus. Alright, let's queue up the ladder. This PS, yeah. Just gonna do a bit of ladder. Queue up a ladder match. The masher? Well, I mean, I might as well. These things have a crazy amount of have a very strange prio. And the recovery is so low I can kind of get away with it. Challenge anyone. I haven't done this against any ladder players though, so this should be pretty fucking horrific. Okay. It just catches people off guard because no one uses it. Or the hand-to-hand R2's to tier 2 stun. Yeah, but they're very... I actually forget. I don't know, someone would have to check. These things are really fucking knowledge checky as well. Like this. Why the... Okay, interesting. I also need to change my inventory layout. Isn't Ugg's Storm Stomp allowed? No, Storm Stomp has been banned for a while now. Same with Flaming Strike. Catch him there. Maybe the JR2. PSSS JL1 Prio is garbage, by the way. Yup. No, Gugs hasn't been allowed. Storm Stomp hasn't been allowed in a long time. Not since patch 1.10, anyway. Oh, that was the Mag 2022 tourney. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, the interactions like that are pretty interesting. What's the best balance patch-wise? I don't know, to be honest with you. I had warmed to patch 1.09. I really disliked the... All I can say for sure is that I really disliked patch 1.10. Like, by a fairly wide margin. Alright, I should have... He resets after that, interesting. I don't know why he didn't go for that. Frosty Patch saved ER. I think that screenshot might be one of my favorite things from ERPVP. A little bit late into its own fork. Ooh, that was close. No! The run R1 from Kilo on fork, bestie. I very much liked 1.09. Because it felt like that there was a continuation. There was something that was going on between the different patches. That they were slowly but surely balancing the game. You wish you were using fists? A little bit, yeah. Fists are a better version of this in every conceivable way. The Run R1 is nice for a little bit of poise chip if you get it on a read, because they're expecting the Run R2. And I think the tracking is a little bit better, so they can't strafe it quite as easy as you can fists. Which is kind of interesting. No, it doesn't have the poise break needed. Yeah, whatever. I didn't miss Passenger. I thought that it was a massive mistake that they got rid of it. Because, as we've seen since then, it's been pretty much Whoa! I accidentally perfect blocked that. That's pretty funny. Is that LGS or thrusting sword? I can't tell at a glance. I think I'm technically winning neutral. That was a very good meme. GG's. Because otherwise you still end up in that awful situation where like thrusting sword is just arguably the best thing ever. Still. Which I think is pretty abysmal. Shamshir, get a speed nerf. I think that I'm not going to get back into it. TS and LGS look way too similar, I'm not going to lie. I just couldn't tell at a glance. I have to wait for the moveset. I mean, that might work too, but keep in mind, you're asking FromSoft to balance their game. Thank you. Oh. I would imagine that there will be a patch coming with the, there we go. And there'll be a patch coming with whatever they do there, but who the fuck knows? So true, bestie. I think a half a frame improvement of a couple of things would be better. Honestly. I hate hyper armor mashers. Hyper armor is incredibly obnoxious in this game. Mostly because it shuts down so many aggressive options that make this game kind of fluid and interesting. Which is kind of a shame. How do you go for another running attack there? Oh, I was too early! Oh, and I missed a roll. How much fucking HP? How much HP? I would imagine it's probably because they're quite popular, so People will generally try to emulate to a degree. I've seen some fucking Ender clones running around. It's very funny. No, I don't have the time to get that out. I should try to 3v3 with them. And the unreactable run R1 to finish it out. GG's. Yes, they are all minions. Small, one-eyed creatures who boomers post about on Facebook. My army of minions. But yeah, if you put YouTube stuff out there, you will eventually like bump into some people, even if it's like pretty obscure and small. You'll bump into people who emulate. It's very cute. Cute little hall daggerers. Yes, invader build, clone stack. It's whatever. At least there's people playing. Although I will say, it's a nice change that an awful lot of the content creators for ER actually have a vague idea of what the fuck is going on in the video game. That I am quite grateful for. As opposed to DS3 where the big people had no fucking clue what was going on. Please go for a running attack. It does make for a fairly decent change. Pure soul, what a cutie. Like even Chase, like say what you will about Chase, at least he kind of had a vague idea of what was going on. What if setups guys are good for invasions? Pretty much anything, depending on what level bracket you're on. You can get away with an awful lot of stuff in invasions. Anything kind of goes. Same rule applies, you just, I don't know, exact same setups that are good in duels, with a couple of maybe exceptions. Whatever's highest damage with low recovery. Starfists are probably slightly better in invasions than in duels. Just because you have nuclear R2s, you can burst people down. I rolled that video game. Anything that can burst, so that you make a 3v1, a 2v1, and then a 1v1. Just burst. But again, you can get away with pretty much anything. I also don't invade, so take everything I say with a massive fistful of salt. Invasions fucking suck. I mean, BHS clean rot you can't go too far wrong with either, just because no one can hit you. What's the name of the song? Oh, it's from the Bastion soundtrack. It is Slinger's Song. into the whiffer. The kick is actually not a terrible tech into this. Considering all that I have has struggled into hyper armor pretty badly. Go for an R2. But yeah, you can more or less get away with anything. At least from what I've seen, but maybe ER is just a little bit more different. Which would make a degree of sense. Leaderboard. This guy is funny. I like him a lot. He's a wholesome chungus. I should probably fix my inventory now. Yeah, I've bumped into him a lot over the years, and it's always nice fighting him. Baby pattas. The embryonic pattas. These don't get the two-hand bonus, no? I don't think so, right? Good shot. Oh, I don't think he thought. I think he thought he was dead. No, poor guy. Don't think he rolled once. He seems like a pretty newish player. Or new... Yeah, he seems pretty newish. And to be fair, fucking no one uses guitars. That would have been so cool had it worked. GG's. Yeah, he's just newish. And that's fine. Not what I meant to do. Jumping attack to initiate. What? Jeez. GG's. Thought he was going to go for a jumping attack over that there. Not sure why he didn't. GG's. Alright. What time are we on? Use shield, please. I was trying to. Very much not working. Maybe I'm just too late. I don't know, I almost never use turtle in this game. We'll go for another... How long have we been on for? Another 15 minutes and then we'll call it quits. No one's picked up my ladder fight, so I don't know what to say to you. PSN ladder momento, Lamau. Lamau. Oh, this is boring as fuck. Alright, back to Halberd. We change build real quick. Lat Lamau. It's whatever. It is what it is. Oh, IMO, you said. Sorry. I thought you said Lamau. I haven't even optimized around any of this shit. I probably should. Then it's talismans. Strength. No, I generally go. What do I do here? There's a way I have of doing this. I go spear. No, that's dex. Strength. Here. No, Godskin makes no sense there, considering I already have passive regen, but whatever, it's good enough. Cool enough, that'll be fine. Yeah, we're all good. Most of the combinations are fine anyway. Alright. Certified haul stock enjoyer doing haul stock things. Hello. Of course we get Claws of Night to start us out. That's hysterical. Cool. Okay, that was kind of cute, I'm not gonna lie. That was an adorable arena denizen. What a cutie. What a fucking cutie. It wasn't very nice. GG's. Hall stock, the world ends? I meant Hall dag for the longest fucking time. But my brain turns to mush with how low that recovery is. And I just prefer how Hall stock plays. Here, we can do some Hall dag for a bit. Off-axe bores me to fucking tears. Also, counting to 2 is easier than counting to 3. Or will have you know. I forget who it was who won a tournament on Hall Dagger. Was when the world figured out that it was better than Hall Stock. I think it was casting that tourney and I gave Hall Dagger a try and it made sense. GG's. Like, it's pretty ridiculous what it can do, right? You get that little press, you roll out. Your roll cancel is quicker than your walk cancel. Yo. GG's. Gaming or real? Someone has me blocked, unfortunately. Who would block and what's up? Bro, that strafe was real. We're probably not gonna get there. Masher? Oh, I should... bleh? What? GG's. Oh dear. All's good, roll. I'm just doing a YouTube stream just to see if I can get all of the stats right and everything like that so I can do this more regularly. Mash too hard. We mashed too close to the sun. Alright, next loss, I'm going to end the stream though. We'll probably do this again during the week at some point. This was nice. It was nice chatting to the YouTube peoples. Well, I mean, no one except the ladder. It wasn't my fault that there's fucking no one there. That didn't trade. Funny game. What? GG's. His mash just so happened to be a little bit better. This is true. That has quite a lot of range. Oh. GG's. GG's. Literally quick step Gugs. I haven't seen that in a hot fucking minute. Jesus. That has been a lot. It's been a fucking while. Does it count as getting the roll? CR1, or does it count as getting the crouch R1? Which one does it which one does it count as? I actually can't remember. Roll? Oh, so it's the good one then. That's actually Alright, now you have to make up your minds. I'm getting it's roll. If so, then that's fucking hysterical. It's Jimmy! Come on, Jimmy. GG's, Jimmy. Yeah, that counts for both rolls and crouch attacks, Hemi. That doesn't mean anything. I'd actually have to check the. Hang on a second. Let's do our science. Which one is it? Actually no. I have no idea how to use it. I'll have to ask someone who does know. You can just check in the frame data app which one it counts as. But I have completely neglected how. Ripper. I like dueling Jimmy a lot. Yeah, Jimmy's a nice dude. He's starting to get a lot better as well. He's a homie. Wholesome human. What's the difference? Well, for certain weapons, there's a difference between the crouch attack and the roll. For certain weapons, though, not all. There's specific ones that have that difference. Oh my god, it's turquoise. Oh my god. Let's try not to... Oh, the aim down didn't work. Tragical. Yeah, I can't hit her in neutral. How? How? What? What? How? Oh. 12 ping moment, oh. Holy shit. She likes that setup a lot. Yeah, she's pretty fucking good on it. She's one of the... I'd argue she's probably the best current steeple player. I would argue. But there's fuck all people using that setup. Who is it? Is Somni even still playing the fucking video game now? I can't remember. Go for the jumping attack over the top. Okay, your jump attack was considerably better than mine. GG's. The only steeple player? I'm trying to think who... Someone used steeple a very long time ago. I think it was Frosty. It was a Frostman setup, I think, initially. A steeple off dag. I play off of very high damage. Laugh. As I trade into it. Yeah, it was the Frostman. Or at least that's the first time I had seen it be used, because everyone else was KGS. It was KGS off dag, not steeple off dag. Are you fat rolling? No, you're not. Okay. Oh, that's bad. I forgot I had to be bull goats to tank that now. Bro, and that's the end of the stream. Alright, gotta get him back into here, gotta get this rust off of me. What's up, Otter Lover? That is the end of that. Taken down from Kilo. But Imayowa yo shinderu. Nani? Alright. I have no idea how to raid on YouTube, so I guess this is just goodbye. You all suck. You're bad. Coping, molding, shitting, pissing. That in that order. Alright, bye-bye everyone.